Welcome, artists. It's Caleigh Bird. Recently, I happened upon a random art material, and I've been so inspired that I've been drawing an entire series of figures with it. I'll tell you all about it today while I do 4 figures in under 8 minutes. If you follow me on Instagram, you may have remembered seeing the first couple of drawings that I did on this red paper, and you may remember exactly how that came about. In case you don't, basically, I found myself in a hotel room with sort of an exorbitant amount of time. The thing I came in from out of town for got canceled, and so I had like an entire afternoon and evening in a hotel room. I didn't know anybody around. I didn't feel like going out and like doing anything or spending a bunch of money, and I was like, well, I don't want to sit in my hotel room and just like watch TV for 7 hours. I had like nothing with me. I usually travel with like a little, packet of things to entertain, art supplies and stuff like that. I just didn't bring anything this time. I didn't even have my laptop, like nothing. And so I was like, okay, well, how about I just make some art? I had like some pencils and erasers and stuff. Basically, I just found a thrift store. There was a thrift store right around the corner. And I went to the thrift store and I was like, I'll just kind of look for some kind of interesting paper or substrate. I didn't know what I would find. I was like, I'll just find something to draw on. And just coincidentally, there happened to be a Hobby Lobby next door. And so I went into the thrift store and looked around, and lo and behold, there was just like a packet of these bright red envelopes. And I was just like, yeah, score. Like I just was inspired the moment I saw them and went over to Hobby Lobby. Obviously, I could have gone and got a bunch of art supplies over there, but I didn't want to do that because I have a ton of art supplies at home, and I just, I didn't want to go buy stuff that I didn't actually need. So I just went over and just bought one package of chalk pencils just so I would have, a highlight for my toned paper. And so I did pretty good. That was it. I just spent a couple of bucks and got art supplies that totally inspired, and I just basically hung out in the hotel room and started drawing. And you'll have to forgive this weird shifting of the red hue. It keeps going to this like almost warm pink color when it's supposed to be this sort of more fire engine red. I do not know why my lens just would not pick it up. Like no matter what I did with the lighting, like it just kept shifting back and forth. So anyways, sorry about that. You'll see that in the video. There's like, I struggled. Please forgive. Now, only the first drawing and basically the half of the second one was done in the hotel room, but I have just loved this red paper ever since. So for these 4 drawings, these are all done in my studio. And these are actually done with white Conte, not white chalk. I have white Conte pencils, which I like it for when I like the chalk for when I'm doing pastel or charcoal, and I like the Conte for when I'm doing pencil because they just seem a little bit more similar. Conte has kind of a little bit of like almost like a waxier kind of feel. It just feels a little closer to graphite, and it doesn't smudge quite so easily. And also for this paper, there's like almost no tooth to it. It's very smooth paper, and the chalk I felt like just wasn't quite as grippy. So for the first one I did in chalk, and it turned out great, but for the other ones I've been using Conte. And by the way, if you're interested in any of these materials, obviously, except for the red envelopes, but if you're interested in any of the materials, I have them down in the description. And if you use my special Blick link, it gives a little something to this channel with no extra cost to you. So thank you very much for supporting. But yeah, essentially I use the white Conte. I use like a 2B graphite pencil to draw. And then I think it's a 4B woodless pencil. And it's just in a extender because it's just like the very bottom of it. So that like case thing, that little wooden thing you're seeing me draw with, it's nothing special. It's just a woodless pencil in a little extender. But like I said, I'll leave those down below. So if you want to snag any of those things, those are my favorite things to draw with. Oh, and the Tombow, the Mono Zero eraser, this teeny tiny little eraser you keep seeing me use. And then, of course, a kneaded eraser. So I'll put all that down below. But those are my favorite things to draw with if I'm drawing with pencil. And if you're wondering where I sourced these fantastic figure images, I actually recently discovered a super marvelous figure model on Instagram who sells sets, and she is just very sort of elastic and almost kind of like these sort of yoga twisted poses. She does a lot of other kind of more traditional poses as well, and sometimes she even does some costume work and stuff like that. So if you are also needing some figure model references, I will link her info down below, and she's got some sets you can get. Just check her out through Instagram and you can see a lot of other artists' work and everything. But yeah, she's just a truly exceptional model for sure. And this one I only recorded vertically because I was doing it for Instagram. This is actually the first one I did and not the last one, but you know, because it was a vertical recording, I put this one at the very end. So sorry, it's not the best one, but definitely do keep an eye on my Instagram if you like these drawings, because I am having so much fun. I think I've got about, I don't know, at least a dozen or so left of the red envelopes. So definitely going to be having some more of these and making lots of reels and videos all the time. So tune into my Instagram and come see where all the fun's at as things are coming out. If you like my figure drawings, check out this playlist of some sketchbook flip through videos. Those are some of my most popular videos of all my figure drawing sketchbooks. Thanks so much for being here, guys. I will see you next time.